Here's the 1978 International Carpenter school bus. I've driven the bus right up next to the house here. Here's the front porch, and here's the bus. I got it started with the old gas that was in the can, but it was just barely running. It was really just struggling to run. So I'm going to start doing some improvements to the bus now, but I wanted to bring it up here so I could work on it more easily. The first thing I did once I got it up here, well, let me go inside here, I guess. First thing whoa, oh, I slipped on some loose sand there. First thing I did was to put Berryman's B12 in it. And what I did, and the way, I should explain the way the buses are fueled. It's running on a marine fuel can here into a rubber fuel line which goes out into the engine compartment. And because these buses are just driven on private property, I don't want to have a 55-gallon fuel tank with only a little bit of fuel in it that ends up going bad and varnishy. So I've been using this fuel can, but unfortunately, I hadn't driven the bus in quite a long time, and the fuel had started to get varnishy. But it was good enough to start up. But there was no way I was going to leave that old stuff sitting in the float bowl. So what I did is I got a can of Berryman's B12, put the fuel line directly into the B12, and let it run on straight B12 till it consumed all the B12 and quit running. And it'll actually run just on straight undiluted Berryman's B12. And as the B12 filled up the float bowl, the engine sounded smoother and smoother until it used it all up. But my point of bringing it up here was because I wanted to do some cleaning and some maintenance on it. Now, a while back, some of you have said, well, you need to get a pressure washer. You need to pressure wash some of these dirty old pieces of equipment. Well, I've got a pressure washer. I actually got it over here. I need to have a better storage location for it, but this isn't too bad. I'll demonstrate the pressure washer in a future video, but I finally went ahead and got one, and it works really good. It's got a Honda engine, but I use the pressure washer to wash out the engine compartment and the driver's area of the bus. Now, some of this stuff I still didn't get, some of this sand I didn't get out, but I got the majority of it a lot cleaner than it was. This is the cleanest that the dashboard has ever been. You can take a look at the gauges there. It's very faded from sitting out in the sun for so long. And I think that this bus has never left this area since it was first bought by the local school district. I'm the third owner of it. The second owner was a church, and I think I saw in the original title when it was sold by the school district, but I can't remember when that was. I've owned this for more than 10 years. And I'm glad I got these buses when I did, because I've seen no more of these around. I think if there were any more, they ended up going to the junkyard. And I actually missed out on getting another Lodestar, but at the time I just thought, well, I had enough. I had more than I could handle, but I really should have gone ahead and got it, because I think it ended up being junked. But anyway, this one is the best running one that I have now, so it's the one I wanted to focus on first for doing some more maintenance to it. So I did use the B12 through the fuel line. It really helped improve the running of the engine. Now what I need to do is to get some fresh fuel and put it in the can. And let's take a look at the engine here. This is the first time I would have cleaned this out with the pressure washer. And this air cleaner still needs to be cleaned some more. I took it off and I covered the carburetor with a plastic bag. But everything is a whole lot cleaner than it once was. You can even see some red color there on the engine. I really need to do an oil change on this, and I need to change the antifreeze. I just topped it off, but it's got some pretty old antifreeze in there, so I want to change that. But they made this hood so short on this, I guess to reduce the total length of the vehicle, but there's barely enough room for the little V8 engine in here. I have no idea how they got a 6-cylinder engine in this. There must have been a doghouse on the 6-cylinder versions. And I actually saw a 6-cylinder version at a junkyard, but I can't remember how the engine compartment looked on it. But I think by this time they had just gone to the V8 engines. But this design dates from 1962, so at the time they would have had the choice of the 6-cylinder as well. Notice that there's a little registered trademark symbol in here, right here. I always thought that was kind of interesting. It's just very small. You wouldn't see it unless you got right up next to it. Open up the other side here. There's the air compressor. It wouldn't be West Texas without all this wind. You're probably hearing some wind on the microphone, but I actually had made another video, but the wind was so bad you could barely hear anything. But I need to replace, I'm actually going to just bypass these hoses, because these hoses are actually look like they're leaking antifreeze. It's so deteriorated that it's just falling apart. So I have absolutely no need for heating in this bus. So I'm going to bypass the heater cores. There's a huge amount of heater cores, heater plumbing in these things. And when I was in elementary school, we actually had a hose burst inside the bus, and we had to pull off of the road and wait till a mechanic could come, and I think they ended up towing the other bus away and bringing us another bus. But all that heater stuff needs to be bypassed because those hoses are so deteriorated. The tires on this one are not too bad, although they're starting to get more cracked. This was actually driven out here when I bought it, but I don't know that these tires will be quite good enough. I think I'd want to get some new ones before really taking it back on the road again. So there's the 1978. It says model year 79, but the build date is 6/15 of 78. Or 6/15/78, and it was titled as a 78 model. And I know that the buses are one of the most popular things, probably the most, maybe one of the more unique things I have as far as videos, so I will try to make some more, and I sure do appreciate all your comments and suggestions regarding the buses. You can see some of the original paint in here, and it was repainted by someone else with this color, and then I repainted it with safety yellow from Sherwin-Williams. I actually now do have a spray, an air paint spraying outfit that I was going to want to try it on these, but I haven't yet. Could use some repainting here. And I could see that this said Odessa Public Schools on it. It's very, I don't think you can see it in the video, but I could see it on here. And also it has school bus markings on the side. All Texas school buses have to have school bus signs on the side the same way that they do up at the top. And the next plans for the bus are to change the oil, see if I can change the antifreeze. Usually I'll just take the lower radiator hose off to drain the old antifreeze, but it's very difficult to get in there. I'll have to see if I can get up into it from underneath. And I had changed the oil on this before, but it really could use another change with probably some 20W50. Needs 10 quarts of oil, as I remember. So I'll make some more updates on the progress of the bus as I do it.